All right, welcome to part 4, the final part of this budget gym build series between Rogue, Rep, and Titan Fitness. In the previous videos, we dove into each one, looking at racks, bars, benches, plates, and finally price. Today, now that we have all the solutions, we're going to take a look at them together. So first, let's start with racks. Of the racks available to choose from, in my opinion, Rogue is the winner here. The reason being is that it is 3x3. It is 5/8 inch. It is made in America, which means you can fit a ton of different accessories and attachments on it, all for a pretty good price. Now, Rep and Titan do have strong offerings here as well. They are very similar in what they offer. There are some accessories available, but extremely limited. The benefit to them, however, is that they are in a full enclosed cage, so you are able to make sure that you're as safe as possible, as the Rogue rack did not come with spotter arms. However, that being said, we're going to give Rogue 3 stars, Rep and Titan 2 stars each, as there's really no difference between the two offerings. All right, so when we're taking a look at barbells, Rogue and Rep have the stronger offerings compared to Titan, just many more options and higher quality bars in my experience. I'm going to give Rogue the edge here only because the Ohio Power Bar as is one of my daily drivers, and I like the knurling feel as it equates to powerlifting a little bit more than I like the Rep Black Diamond or Double Black Diamond, which isn't to say anything bad about them because they are still good bars. But if I have two bars that are similar in spec and quality and one is made in America, that's always going to get the win in my opinion. So I'm giving Rogue 3 stars, Rep 2 stars, and Titan 1 only because most of their bars are largely generic and lower quality than the other two brands that we're comparing them to. All right, I know what you're thinking. We're looking like Rogue is going to sweep the table because they're made in USA. He's a fanboy. That is not the case because when we talk about benches, Rep definitely has the edge here, from their breadth of portfolio to the different pricing options to all of them being actually quality benches. Rep is going to get 3 stars. We were able to get an adjustable bench with good grippy vinyl, and it's actually built very well. 3 stars for Rep here. Taking a look at Rogue, I'm going to give them a 2-star rating. We did go with a flat bench, and that's because when we start to look at adjustable benches through Rogue, we're at a minimum of about $600, so well outside of our budget. But with that said, it's still made in America. It is a solid overall flat bench, and it definitely has the edge on Titan, which gets 1 star for its lower build quality and lower vinyl material. And if you've used Titan benches before, I don't have to say anything else. All right, so next let's move on to plates. And for the most part, I have made the argument that weight is not always weight. You do get what you pay for, but in a budget build, all 3 offerings here are extremely similar from both the pricing to the look to the tolerances included. So in this case, I'm just going to give them all 3s across the board because there is no clear winner or loser in this instance. All right, so lastly, let's talk about price. And this is where the tables are flipped. When we take a look at all the offerings, initially on the surface, they are similarly priced, as was the goal of this build out. But because Titan offers a 10% discount in most cases that you can find online, that actually knocks them down to the most affordable by over $100. Now, Rogue and Rep, very similar, separated by 50 on the surface, but Rogue actually charges shipping. So it ends up being an extra several $100s over our budget, where Rep and Titan are free. So for these ratings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Titan 3 stars on price, most affordable, followed by Rep, and lastly by Rogue. All right, so taking a look at the final standings, we have Rogue with a total score of 12 out of a possible of 15. Rep also coming in with 12 out of a possible of 15. And Titan coming up not so far off with 10 out of 15. And to be honest, this is about what I would expect and what I see in the market. These days, when it comes to comparing Rogue and Rep, there's not as much difference as there was in the past. It really is going to come down to what is most important to you. I think with Rogue, you're getting a better rack and better bar, but with Rep, you're getting better bench and better overall pricing because of free shipping. Titan, while similar, is definitely the price leader and oftentimes why people tend to choose Titan, even though the level of quality tends to be a little bit less. For those that are more budget concerned, it is a valid choice since it is the cheapest by quite a significant amount. So that's going to wrap up our series on budget builds through Rogue, Rep, and Titan. What do you think? Do you agree with the ratings? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. And in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching.